What's going down, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of John Ammo's Archives. Now, today I was going to do another wrestling video, and it was actually inspired by my boy Eat That Pussy 445, aka Big Cheese Nips. Now, for those of you who don't know, Eat That Pussy is a huge wrestling fan. He's also a fellow Eagles fan. I communicate with the guy all the time on Facebook and other means. He's a good guy. I really like the dude. But he sent me a message the other day. I kind of have the upper hand on such things as wrestling because I'm a little bit older. So he sent me a message about Triple H and Bret Hart's comments about Triple H the other day. And I kind of wanted to address the subject in that, you know, I 100% agree with Bret the Hitman Hart that Triple H, not only is he very overrated, but he's never had a great match his entire career. And when I say a great match, if you want to just take somebody like Bret the Hitman Hart and you want to go back to like SummerSlam 92, SummerSlam 92 or WrestleMania 13, those are my two personal favorite matches with Bret the Hitman Hart. Probably WrestleMania 13 against Steve Austin edging the Bret Hart British Bulldog match in 1992. This match, both of these matches were fucking epic. They told stories the whole entire time. The WrestleMania match against Steve Austin was actually crucial in the way Bret Hart acted during that match. That actually led to Steve Austin's successful heel turn and record-breaking status in making money and being the top heel in the Federation for years and years and years. And you know, he has nobody else to thank but Bret Hart for launching him on such a successful path. Even if you look at a couple of workers who weren't really that good, like the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. Ultimate Warrior really never had a great match, but he had one. And so did Hulk Hogan, and they were both against each other at WrestleMania 6. I go back at Triple H's career. Now, just for all those, you know, out there, I'm not a Triple H hater in per se. I don't like the guy too much because I don't like the overexposure that he's given himself and the 10 world titles that he's given himself. But I'm not a Triple H hater in the sense that I do recognize the fact that he's a very good performer, not necessarily a great performer, a very good performer. If you go back to my video, the top 10 WWF, the top 10 wrestlers, I'm sorry, not WWF, but the top 10 overall wrestlers of all time, I have Triple H ranked at number 10. He's number 10. He did crack my top 10 list. I didn't want to put him there, but you have to put him there. He has too much of a legacy. It's almost like, you know, like the Bruno Sammartino, Andre the Giant factor. Even though I'm not their biggest fans and I don't appreciate their work so much, there's no denying that all three of these guys are definitely WWF, WWE legends. But when looking back at Triple H's career, his body of work, I really can't think of one specific match that stands out that's of five-star quality. So my boy, Big Cheese Nips, EDP, Eat That Pussy, writes to me. He writes to me a couple weeks ago, Yo, man, since you're doing WWF videos, I really need you to look in this. Bret Hart came out and actually said that Triple H has never had any great matches. And I responded to him, he really hasn't, in my opinion. He had a lot of very good matches, but I agree with Bret Hart when he said that. So EDP writes back to me, what about Triple H versus The Rock? What about Triple H versus Cactus Jack in the Cell? What about Triple H versus Cactus Jack at the Royal Rumble? What about Triple H versus Ric Flair? What about Triple H versus Chris Jericho? I guess they all sucked. Wow. Like, he's really surprised that, like, I'm not impressed with any of those matches that EDP just named. You know, the best matches that he did name were probably the ones against Mick Foley. To be honest with you, none of them really stand out in my head as being a great match. And let's take EDP's example here of Ric Flair against Triple H, calling it a great match. Well, I challenge you that if you thought that was a great match, compare Triple H to Shawn Michaels the next year or 2 years later, and what do you call that? I mean, the Triple H Shawn Michaels match is far, far, far and away a much, much, much better 5-star match than the Triple H Ric Flair match. And it just goes to show that no matter how hard he works, no matter how hard he tries, no matter how hard he tries to cut the interview, everything Triple H has done throughout his career is pretty much a B+. No A's across the board. So then me and EDP, we got into a little bit more of a discussion, and he was a little bent out of shape that some of today's fans are actually comparing CM Punk to Shawn Michaels. Like, there's no comparing the two. And just so you know the difference between Shawn Michaels and Triple H, there is no comparing the two. Shawn Michaels never had a bad match his entire career. When Shawn Michaels became a singles performer in 1992, he actually won Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI Year of the Match in 93, 94, 95, 96. He got injured, runner-up in 97. He got injured in 98. He returned in 2004, won it in 2004, won it again in 05, 06, 07, 8, 9, and 10. So Shawn Michaels is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11-time PWI Match of the Year wrestler. So there, anyone who wants to say that the comparison between Shawn Michaels and Triple H and CM Punk, he's in a whole nother category. That said, if you wanted to compare CM Punk to Triple H, that's going to be a lot closer than Shawn Michaels is to Triple H, in the sense that overall the career body of work of CM Punk is not quite up to snuff to Triple H's yet, but he is a better wrestler, and he is a better interviewer, and he is a better performer than Triple H. And CM Punk should surpass Triple H in another 5 years. So that's basically my video on Triple H. Again, it's not that he's that bad or anything like that. He's a very, very good performer, but that's all that he is the problem. The problem is he's only a very good performer, and he's not great. He doesn't do great interviews. He doesn't do great matches. He doesn't have any great moves. And, that's going to be Triple H's legacy. And the biggest problem on why he doesn't get the respect and the props that he deserved is, I think, mainly because he came up in the same era as Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. And like I stated in the top 10 video, he'll never be Stone Cold Steve Austin. He'll never be The Rock. But you can't knock him in the sense that he has had, a pretty good run. I think it's 10 world championships. It's not, nothing to sneeze at. But overall, in my opinion, Bret Hart is 100% correct. Triple H has never had a great match in his entire career. This is John Ammo from the Archives. Thanks for watching.